I got that phone call. Are you Judy Malinowski's mom? And I remember thinking, what a strange question. And they said, this was the hospital and we have your daughter, that I should come now.
I've seen plenty of burns to her degree. I can't say I've seen many that have survived.
Judy was my firstborn. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the happiest time of my life. And she was just my best friend. I went past Michael's room. I went in there and I was like, Michael, where is Judy? I'll never forget it. He looked at me and he said, it was an accident, it was an accident.
Bonnie doesn't understand why there are police officers surrounding Michael's bed.
All I can remember is I just started screaming, tell me there's hope, tell me there's hope, tell me there's hope. And they wouldn't tell me there was hope. They wouldn't say anything.
We have an equation which is based on the patient's age and percent burn. In Judy's case, she was 31 and approximately 80% burned, so that made her like 110% mortality.
We were concerned with Judy passing and us not getting anything on the record. I wanted Judy's voice to be heard as quickly as possible. Doctors and nurses are looking at you like, do you want to bring this person out of sedation?
Lifted her arm. Judy, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, are you hurting right now? Okay. All right. Would you mind if someone asked you a couple questions about what happened? Stay calm, Jude. Stay calm, baby.
I remember leaning in to talk to her. I don't even know if she can hear me.
Judy, this is Detective Phil Hagan with Johanna. Can you hear me? You can? Judy, did you spill gas on yourself? No. Did Mike spill gas on you? Yes. Yes? Okay.
And the police said that they were going to arrest Michael. I didn't understand.
So what, am I under arrest or something?
Right now, yeah, you are under arrest.
What am I being charged with?
You're going to be charged with felony assault and aggravated arson. Let me just be direct with you too, Mike, okay? So we saw exactly what happened. We saw you pour gasoline over top of her head. She stumbles to the ground. You lean over and light her on fire. We saw what happened. We know what happened.
That's not the way it looks. We're arguing she threw pop on my face, and then we was going back and forth with it, and then she'd come in and spit in my face, and I said, oh, wait here, you want to ruin my stuff? Well, I said, here, boom, I'm going to ruin your clothes. It wasn't to start her on fire or nothing, you know what I mean? It was just to ruin her clothes.
Right, yeah.
So we knew right away that he had lied to us.
He had made several statements about how the gasoline got on Judy. And then he developed from there. Okay, I panicked, I lied about that, I shouldn't have. But she took her sweatshirt off, and it didn't even occur to me that there would still be gas there.
Here's my attorney.
In this case, where I thought that there was some doubt, was to whether he knowingly caused serious physical harm.
I still have trouble understanding that someone could do that to another human being. And there was nobody that Judy didn't love.
When I was a little kid, I would look at my mom, and I just want to grow up and be like her.
People can just say, like, I love you, not always mean it. But for my mom, like, I always knew that she, like, actually loved me.
We were playing the delay game. It sounds terrible, but we were basically waiting for Judy to die so that we could charge Mr. Slager with the homicide. And we got a call one day that she was awake.
I'm going to start by asking you your name.
Judith Ann Malinowski.
Do you know how many surgeries you've had?
Over 50.
And you're aware that you have coded 7 times, correct?
Yes.
You understand the prognosis is not good, correct?
No.
But you're fighting against it, right?
Yes.
It had to be explained to her that Mr. Slager was in jail. I remember her being emotional about that. She actually felt bad for Mike at that point.
Mike sent me a message on Facebook. Said that he had always had feelings for me and that he loved me.
I was like, he looks like bad news, Judy. Judy said, Mom, you can't judge a book by their cover. And I thought, okay, back off, Bonnie.
He has theft, domestic violence, menacing, aggravated menacing, making a false police report, domestic violence, aggravated menacing, assault, aggravated menacing, domestic violence, assault, domestic violence, assault, domestic violence, endangering children, domestic violence, endangering children, rape, which was, I think, pled down to a sexual battery.
So he began to, I would say, dote her, like just messaging her and just everything I guess a girl wants to read, especially, where Judy was in her life.
Did you have a diagnosis and a surgical procedure when you were 27 years old?
Yes. Ovarian cancer.
Okay, thank you. And you had some complications as a result of that surgery, correct?
Yes. I was placed on very strong painkillers. I got addicted to them.
And she had told me, Mom, I'm getting addicted to this pain medicine. And I said, Judy, it's fine. Just take them as the doctor prescribes them. I realized that she was a binge user, and she would go and use and self-medicate whatever she needed. And she was going to meetings, like 3, 4, 5 meetings a week. They got her on the right track, and now she's living with the girls.
She was doing the best she had ever done. Everything went downhill when Michael came into the picture.
That's when drugs and all that came into play. He brought her drugs, she relapsed, so he had complete control over her.
I don't think that Michael ever did drugs. He definitely preyed on women that had addiction problems. Judy had called me when he had choked her before, and I can remember her being so scared of him.
She hid in hotels, left her own home.
Judy calls the police multiple times over the course of the relationship, telling them that she's being abused by her boyfriend. What Judy doesn't know is that Michael is also calling the cops on her every time something happens, covering for himself, painting a picture to the cops of a concerned boyfriend.
He knows what he's doing. He's intelligent, he's calculating. Near the end of May of 2015, I had a lengthy conversation with Judy. She flat out said that if she left him or he found out about this conversation, that he would kill her. And then the call disconnected after that.
And yet,
when I walked in, I definitely was like, that's not my mom. You just don't believe that that's who they're telling you it is.
The surgery was in a hospital bed. And the surgery said, everything's all right. And she asked me for a hug. I said, no, you're hurt. Because I don't want her to get hurt.
She wanted to tell her story. I think she wanted somebody to finally listen to her.
this might be the only chance Judy gets of testifying. If she survives, Michael escapes the murder trial. But if she dies, Michael will be charged with murder, and her testimony will be on the record as evidence against him. But then, something happened.
In your previously entered not guilty plea and pleading a no contest plea in this matter.
Correct, Your Honor.
Slager changed his plea from not guilty to no contest. And that way he avoided a trial and she was not able to testify.
He silenced her again. There's nothing we could do. What are you going to do?
The Gahanna woman doused with gasoline and set on fire. She will never get the chance to testify against her ex in court.
And the judge sentenced him to 11 years in jail.
The maximum sentence Michael could receive for dousing her in gasoline and lighting her on fire was 11 years, which is very similar to the penalty you would receive for lighting a car on fire.
Judy has a life sentence, and her children have a life sentence, and with domestic violence, it's ugly, it's cruel.
Mrs. Bowes was correct when she said this girl has a life sentence. And you've done it and you haven't been sorry. You've done all the things that really show what a despicable individual you are. You really do seem like one of those people that have no soul, and you need to be incarcerated. That's all I have to say. Take him out.
I can't. It's not fair. It's so hard when he just isn't even remorseful for anything. I don't mean to break down. I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard to stay strong, but it's just so hard.
There was this part of her that wanted to make it and to live, to fight for every other woman that had been through something like that. And she was willing to do whatever she needed to do to help change the law.
Judy's law would increase the maximum sentence for intentionally disfiguring someone by up to 20 years. It's named after Judy Malinowski, who is still fighting to stay alive after being set on fire a year and a half ago.
The law would not be retroactive, meaning it won't have any impact on her case. Still, Judy continues to fight for other survivors of domestic violence.
Doctors say they really have no medical explanation as to how she is still alive, but Judy's mom, Bonnie Bowes, says she believes that Judy is fighting to see Judy's law through to the very end.
All Judy wanted to do was help people. She fought so hard to help people and for justice.
This is a miracle that she survived that with her spirit intact, her will to want to help other people intact. I just think her body was giving out before her spirit.
Although they don't give her much time, even if God takes her, she'll always be here. And that's when they approached Judy about testifying to her own homicide. It was a long shot because it had never been done. Nobody had ever testified to their own homicide in the United States.
It hurts so bad. I don't want to do it. I have to.
As a mother, you know your child, where was her limitation? Could she do this, even though her intentions were good?
Judy Malinowski will be allowed to testify about her own death in the trial of her accused killer.
The case that's drawn national attention.
This would be the first time that a victim was allowed to testify from the grave in a murder case.
She said, "Mom, I know I haven't endured this much pain in vain."
Tell me your name and then you're ready to testify.
Hi, my name is Judith Malinowski, and I am ready to testify on Thursday.
All right.
I think Judy expressed being tired of fighting and in pain. But she would not say to me, "Mom, I want to give up. I want to stop," because she knew what that would do to me.
Judy Malinowski's mom, Bonnie Bowes, told me in an interview Tuesday her daughter's body can't take much more.
So they asked me to sign these papers, and I said, "No, I will not sign these hospice papers." She said, "Mom, I will." she put an X. And I know Judy because Judy would have normally tried to do a J, and she just put an X and handed it back. I said, okay, Judy, I'll hold your hand until Jesus takes the other.
Today, I lost someone very important to me, my sister Judy. And she was my favorite sister for a very long time.
Well, a new chapter in one family's long fight for justice.
LA prosecutor Ron O'Brien calls this case unprecedented. Slager is now charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated murder.
He could get the death penalty if he is found guilty.
We'll fight like heck to keep that testimony of the victim excluded from any jury trial.
She went to her grave thinking that she did justice and she told her story.
A criminal defendant's right to confrontation is of paramount importance. But the defendant in this case did have an opportunity to confront the accuser.
Thank you, God.
A potential historic decision.
Today's judge's ruling makes her the state's first murder victim to testify at her killer's trial.
New hope for Judy Malinowski's family that not only justice will be served in her death, but that her own voice will be heard in court.
Could you please raise your right hand to the extent that you possibly can? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this deposition will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as you shall answer to God or under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you.
Now, Sunday, August 2nd, 2015. Do you recall that day?
August 2nd, 2015, yes, I do.
So when you were with Mr. Slager, you indicated that the two of you stopped at Speedway. What did you stop there for?
To get cigarettes. We were arguing back and forth. Either one of us were very happy with each other.
While he went inside, you got out of the truck and went behind that Speedway. What happened as you stood behind that Speedway?
Mike came in a matter of no time at all around in his truck. He saw me and immediately slammed the truck in the park, got out, demanded that I got into the truck with him, called me all sorts of names. We argued for a good 5 to 10 minutes, and then I threw my pop on him.
You threw a pop on him?
Yes. He was extremely upset. He ran around to the other side of his truck, and he got his gallons of gasoline that he had cut to the back of his truck. He ran around to me and started pouring gasoline, started up my head and worked his way down. Some got through my throat as he did that.
What's his demeanor as he's pouring the gasoline on
you? Evil, just completely evil. He's not responding to any of my cries for help. Like, want to throw what I'll do to you, bitch. And how do you like this? And I looked at him and he pulled a lighter out of his pocket and he started walking towards me. And I just remember crying and begging for help. And he let me on fire, and the look in his eyes his eyes went black, literally. I thought for sure I was dying. I just prayed to Jesus to please forgive me for my sins and to take care of my children. And
Did you at any time produce a cigarette and ask for a light?
no,
Okay. As a matter of fact, did you have any cigarettes on you?
no.
Can you tell us what you were wearing that morning of August the 2nd?
I don't remember.
You remember getting dressed that morning?
No, I don't. I don't remember a lot of things, but I wish that.
It'd be fair to say that the trauma you suffered has affected your memory?
Yes.
Say that it has affected your ability to recall events accurately.
I regret that.
You agree that because of the trauma that you have suffered, your ability to recall events accurately has been compromised.
My ability to what?
Recall events. Remember things.
I can recall the events, but the missing details of them is what's hard for me to recall. You have to understand, on August 2nd, I was set on fire, thrown on the ground, and burnt 95% of my body.
I understand. I appreciate that. Ma'am? I just remember walking out thinking, that was awful. That was horrible. I didn't want to do it. I felt bad for her from day one. I mean, I absolutely felt bad for her.
3 hours of questioning. I couldn't interrupt. I couldn't knock on the door and see if she was okay. And when I went in there, she just grabbed me as best she could. And her entire burned body just shook.
Judy, I would just like you to state here, if you were to die from your injuries and Mr. Slager were to be convicted of having done that, I want you to tell a future judge what you want to see happen to Mr. Slager.
I would like to see him charged with murder and do a life sentence. I think that he deserves that.
She didn't believe in the death penalty. And while I very much think Michael Slager deserved to die for what he did, I think she had the right to tell the judge what penalty she wanted.
Sir, what's your plea to one count of aggravated murder without the capital specification?
Guilty.
You understand that it is a complete admission of guilt in this case?
Yes, sir.
You will spend the rest of your natural life incarcerated.
Malinowski gets her wish. Slager avoids the death penalty, but will go to prison for life.
I'm so proud of her, and I know one day I'll see her.
My mom taught me that you could stand up to anybody.
An emotional day at the State House where 2 young girls say they will fight to carry on their mother's legacy.
A brave young girl stood up for her mother. Kaylin Malinowski testified before a Senate committee.
Hello, Mr. Chairman and Senate Committee. My name is Kaylin Malinowski. I am Judy's daughter.
Please pass my mom's law, because together we can prevent this from happening to other families.
If the bill passes, her memory will live on through Judy's law,
We know that our mommy did not suffer in vain.
extending the sentence by 6 years for cases like Judy's where an accelerant like gas is used.
I think it's the first step towards what her legacy should and will be.
House, prepare and proceed to vote.
Well, today, every representative said yes.
She was really brave. I admire her strength, and I definitely hope that that strength lives on through me.